Alright, just going to do a quick video demo on some software I wrote for Dragon Age Tabletop. It's just used for keeping track of enemies and having the enemies roll out their attacks. That way you don't have to spend too much time, dealing with the paper and pencil stuff. Okay, let me just run it real quick here. A little splash screen tells you just information about, I guess, myself. Alright, here's the screen. See the screen, if this is centered here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Pretty much see the whole thing there. Alright, I've added a few features to this thing that the game doesn't really cover, but my guys kind of wanted to, have some more fun with it. So we added a ability to dodge and the ability to counter, and then also on our stun points, we also reuse our stun points. So say we have a total of 6 stun points and it costs 2 stun points to do Mighty Blow, and we still have 4 stun points left over. We can actually redo it and get like 3 Mighty Blows. It gets retarded when you get to level 3 and you get a warrior with a 2-handed axe or something that can do a total of 6 Mighty Blows, and then it gets retarded after that point. But either way, we play differently. We like to play with a lot of combat, so they enjoy that. Also, another thing we do, whenever we battle, at the end everyone recovers full health, full mana, and it just keeps everyone going because the battles are pretty hard, the ones we run. Alright, here we go. Real quick, this is the main screen. Just a few setup stuff you can set up. Yeah. Alright, here I'm just going to add myself real quick here. And this is basically our initiative, or our speed, the player speed. We use this for dodging. So I'm just going to create one character in here right now. Alright, go into this edit, and here's all my pre-created creatures. These I just got them straight out of the book, out of the Tier 1 book, and just put them in there directly. Go into edit creatures, and here's a list of all the creatures. You click on them and brings them up. And I took some images and just threw them in there, but you can save your own images and then repath them. You can set up the names, you can set up all the different skills, or all the different focuses, all the points they have, and the different weapon types of attacks. They also got their main or the main stats, like your speed, your health, defense, and armor rating. Also down here we got the stunts. I haven't this part's not yet working, that's why it's disabled. But here we go. Let's bust out a dragon. Well, there's actually, let's see, where's he? Herlock, Genlock. Here we go. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and, well, let's go into here. Alright, this is the basically the setup for the battlefield. You got a list over here of all the enemies you're going to be using and all the enemies that you have available in your library. I'm going to throw a Genlock in here, just add one. I can add a Herlock as well, and maybe a Shade. So I've got 3 enemies. Close this window. Here they are. I got Genlock, Herlock, and a Shade. And it keeps track of their health and, well, their name and the other stats. Also, another thing, it also indexes them for you, so if you actually had little chips you can put down on the table so you can keep track of who's what. We play with miniatures. It's just easier for us to keep track and be able to do things like the backstab, so we know someone's behind someone. We know what kind of line of sight and stuff like that we're doing. Alright, it's actually pretty simple software. You get your stats here. You can double click on a stat and it will actually roll that stat out, and it actually does the it rolls the 3 dice and then adds the additional modifier to it. So here's a Constitution roll for running. So I double click it and rolls a 5, 5, and a 4, and he has a +2 because you have Constitution, +2 for running, and he gets a 16. If it was something else, Constitution, like I don't know, falling or something like that, then you can probably minus the -2 and you just have a total of 14. But you can do that yourself. All right. Also, another thing, these stats up here, you can click on them directly and you can change them. So here's health 22, we can change it to 32 on the fly. Or if something messed up and we need to lower his health, we can do that immediately. And as you do that, they update on the list. So I'll go back with 22. Alright, as far as the attacks for these creatures, you just basically select the attack they're going to be using. Here we got Battle Axe and Throwing Axe. So a Throwing Axe, it already has it already knows to add the plus. So like a throwing is going to be well, this one's just that. Okay, here we go. Battle Axe. +5 to attack, and he has well, 2 dice 6 +4. I didn't add these. I don't believe I did this correctly here. We'll see. All right, so we can roll damage, and here it shows you the damage. He rolls 1, 6, 5 +5, and a total 17 to hit, and then the actual damage roll was 1 and 2. So plus is 4. The +4 was coming from right here in the dice, so he's 7. Now, they also have the ability to do stunts. So I'm going to turn this down here for stunts. Basically, when they have stunts, they're going to, like here, I'm telling them to use Mighty Blow. So they always use Mighty Blow on ours because we're just basically fighting. You're basically tanking. That's all we got. So we don't do other stuff. We don't do most of the other stuff, but every now and then we do. We do like the knock to prone and all kinds of interesting things. But let me just see. Let me roll until see if I get a stunt. All right, here we go. Stunt points. All right, so he rolls a hit, and he rolls a 6, 6, 4, and +5, so he gets a total of 21. He got stunt points. He got a total of 4 stunt points. His dragon die is the last one here, so he has 4 stunt points. He uses 2 of the stunt points, or I'm sorry, 4. He uses all 4 stunt points. Each using Mighty Blow, so each Mighty Blow costs 2 stunt points. So he uses them all up, and he rolls a 3 and a 6. His total damage up here for the regular roll was a 7, and then added all the damage down here is 16. So he hits a total for 16. Another interesting thing we got, well, that's one part of it, that's basically how the damage rolling works. We also had this enable counter, which is pretty neat. That enable counter, enable dodge. We'll do that in a second. Alright, that's just the damage rolling here. So now we're going to go back to this side here. Oh, also, this guy has 7 armor class, so if you're going to take damage, say we hit him for 8, and do it, it automatically, he took 1 damage, because it already, takes into account the armor class. Now, certain abilities have things like armor penetration, which basically halves the armor. So if we attack him here with again 8, oops, he took half the damage. Basically, his armor was divided by half, and then subtracted from that total damage, so he took total 5 damage. All right, that's with armor penetration. And with magic penetration, basically it's a DD, so 8 straight through the armor hits him for total 8 damage. So that's how those work, and you just turn these off and on. Alright, another thing, if you're just doing regular melee attacks on these characters, we added the ability for them to dodge and counter. Dodging is pretty interesting. Basically, this is our character speed, and it's more like an initiative test that the enemy has to roll to see if he can beat. If he beats it, then he successfully dodges, and then if he gets doubles within the success of dodging, then he gets the ability to counter. If he gets 3 of a kind, we call that a automatic counter, and it hits you directly. There's no need to roll damage. We just do that for the fun, because our characters can also do it, so that's why we gave the enemy the same ability. So here, for instance, we're going to hit him for 5. So here, again, Lock took no damage, so hit him for 12. Alright, here we go, we got a counter. Alright, basically he dodged with a 5-5-2 +1, so he got a total of 13, so he beat me by 1. And he also, since he got 2 5s, he gets the chance to counter. And then you get this little message that pops up here. It tells you that he rolled a chance to counter. And then we do the damage here. Here's where you can just select what kind of weapon he's going to use for the counter, and then, do it. So basically, use a battle axe here, roll it out. Here's the damage to hit. 13 to hit me, and can't remember what my defense is, but it's probably 12 or something. So he does hit me, and then he hits me for total of 13 minus my armor, so I take my damage there. And that's pretty much how all this program does. It's just simple things like that. One thing you got to remember, whenever you're attacking an enemy, make sure you have everybody's speed here if you're going to use the dodge and counter information or options. Normally you wouldn't use any of this stuff. If you're just playing by the straight rules, just go ahead and roll your damage, and you can just go from there. And if they do get stun points, you might give, you do it yourself as far as that goes, since the stun point stuff's not built in yet. But the only stun point I have built in is this, the Mighty Blow, and just the weapon they use is a 1d6, because we don't want it to get too crazy yet. Alright, so that's pretty much the software. It's a Dragon Age Battle Tracker, currently version 1. There's a few bugs in it, but it's nothing major. Yeah, ta-da. So I guess some other shortcuts here. If you double click this, or if you right click the image, you can do save capture, which basically saves the character as a new character. You can double click it, and it brings up a load, where you can basically load up images of different items. So in case you want to change the creature's image, I just changed the image, and then his current name, you just click it and you want to change it to like something else, and then you can basically, every single stat is editable. Well, not, I don't believe these are editable, or are they? I can't remember. I guess not. There might be a way to edit these. I just can't remember directly. You can always go into edit and then edit them that way. yeah, and everything else here you can just click on it and change it. Blah 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 blah. And that's about it. Just helps you keep track of your combat, your battles, your how much health they have, and also say this current Genlock we were fighting here that's all wild. Say he takes damage of 100. It kills him. Basically, he turns red. It shows you the negative damage, and it marks him red, so you know he's dead. And you can always right-click on him and do kill enemy or reset enemy, which sets him back to the original health, so he's back to full health or however you want to use it. And that's pretty much about it. Just play with it. I'll put a link on there for a download. I think my website's currently down. I haven't checked that box in a while, so I'll take a look at it. And if not, I'll just throw it somewhere on the web and toss up a link. And that's it. That's Dragon Age Battle Tracker version 1 by I guess me, PC Rage 2000. Alrighty, that's it. Bye bye.